Welcome to the Howe Bulldogs Coaches Show with Zack Hudson, brought to you by FBC Howe. Now, let's go to Monty Walker with the Bulldogs head coach.
All right, Coach, perfect time for a bye week. A lot of things going on, and do you have a chance to go to a football game on Friday night or anything like that?
Well, I spent some time with the family, and, we don't get that opportunity very often for about 4 months. And so, we were going to watch some friends play, but most people were off. We got a friend down in Fort Worth, but they were away, and so we just decided to stay at home and spend some time with the family and do some things with the girls. So that was a good time. Good timing for that right in the middle of the season.
Well, a lot of shuffling of the deck. Started with a freshman quarterback, tried that. Didn't work out the way you wanted it to, and now went with a senior quarterback. Just shuffling the deck. The bye week, did it help? Was it the perfect time for that as well?
Well, actually, I wanted to play. We kind of felt like we were getting better right then, and when Caddo came in and we started off and scored twice there in the first half and had some confidence there. We had some bad calls by the refs, and then on top of it, we dropped an interception and didn't get it in on the 2. And just things like that. I mean, everything matters. There was a couple plays in the first half that I thought if we did some things right, we scored. And so, you take about 6 plays away, that it changes the ball game to where we win by 3 touchdowns. So I don't blame it on the refs. Don't blame it on one play. Don't blame it on one kid. We've got to get over those humps. But as a team, as a whole, as a staff, I thought we went out there. We performed. We got better that week, and I can't ask for anything more than that. And we got to fix those little things to where we punch it in on the 2 and different things like that. But you had quite a few kids that were in different spots. Now they were in spots that they had played before, maybe in years past or something of that nature. But I thought they did a good job of going out there. They competed hard, and which they always do. But they felt more comfortable, and I think they're getting more comfortable in that offense. And the more comfortable they get, the more stuff we can put on that puts defenses in a bind. And I think there was 5 plays during the game that 2 people ran the wrong play. And no one really sees that from the stands, but they literally, our guards almost ran into each other one time because they just read the wrong play on a wristband. Well, they're not used to looking at wristbands. And so just different things like that happen throughout a game that changes. And that was a third and short, and we had to punt. And it's just things like that. It's nobody's fault. No kid, no coach or anything. It's just things we got to get better at and get more comfortable doing.
Well, you talk about the guards. Your starting guards from the beginning of the year are now in the backfield, and one's the quarterback. Talk about that transition for Chase Harvey. It looked to be a great transition.
Well, he played it when he was a freshman. He was quarterback, when we were running slot T. And, a lot of what we do has that mindset. And so it's no big deal for him. He's always had a cannon. But in years past, we needed him on the O-line. And we have a couple of linemen now. Not a ton, but we do. We have some linemen now. And that have stepped up. Chris Garrison stepped up and came over the offensive side of the ball, and he's always kind of been there as a backup, but he's very quick, real good, fleet of foot and everything. So he stepped up and played and did a great job.
Now let's go back to Caddo Mills a little bit. And you've said in years past, when you have a young team, that you have to first learn how to win. Do you think that's part of it? These kids are young and they just got to learn how to win to begin?
You can say, you got to learn how to win and all that. It's about execution. It's when you're on the 2, you got to kind of buckle down. You got to learn how to do those things because it gets tight down in there and nerves run a little bit. Things like that happen. And, some of it comes down to blocking, some of it comes down to tackling, some of it comes down to just hanging on football. And the more times they're in that situation, the better they're going to be at it. And I don't think it'll ever happen again. I don't think we'll ever read the wrong play again because they concentrated a whole lot on it during practice. We did it for 2 weeks, but we had to add some more plays. And the wristband riding got a little smaller. And, they didn't point at it like they're supposed to or something, and it just, those little things that you don't pay a lot of attention to sometimes and as coaches or kids, but they just kind of hurt you when it comes down to a close game like that because you got to convert on 3rd down. And we didn't on 3 of them, and that really hurt us.
Well, let's talk about tonight's opponent, Pottsboro. They come in 3-2. A lot of people think the gap is so wide between Howe and Pottsboro, but Pottsboro hasn't played Munster or Gunner or teams like Quinlan, those teams like that. they still have Hunter Watson, and that's still the big key of their team over there, isn't it?
Well, it is. Miles was always the kid that you had to watch out for. He's probably one of the fastest kids in Texas, and it was always, how do you stop that? And since I've been here, it was Miles to the right, Miles to the left, and they throw it to him and let him outrun everybody. And so last year, I thought our kids did a really good job of stopping him. I think they completed 2 passes to him, and only 1 for more than 10 yards. So I thought our kids did a good job, but Hunter killed us. We weren't used to Hunter. He was a new last year, and didn't play in the first game or 2, and it was different. It was a different team for them. And this year it is a little different for them. I think Hunter takes more of the load this year. He's 6'4", over 200 pounds. He's hard to bring down. We figured that out last year. And he has a cannon. And, I just don't think they have the speed that they had on the outside with Miles. But they're still a very good football team. They're very good up front. Their D-line's very good. They got a couple guys returning on D-line that's been there a while. And I think Coach Poe's nephew is one of them. And so, they're still a very good football team. I think they've played some very good, opponents. And they do have some inexperience as far as, varsity level experience. And so, in a little bit, we're kind of in the same boat, But I don't take anything away from Pottsboro. I can promise you that. They're still a very good football team. They're well coached. And, we have to go play.
What are the keys to win tonight?
Well, I think you got to stop Hunter. You got to stop him from running and slow down the passing game. They're going to complete some. When they do, we got to, regain our composure and go out there and stop the next one. But he's going to be the difference for them. If he can run and throw, we're going to struggle. If he can just do one or the other, we got a chance. Now, when we talk about the offensive side of the ball, we have to keep doing what we were doing last game. We got to get our first down on these third downs, and there was 3 times during the game. One time was my fault. We threw a pass we never should have thrown, but the other times it was just execution. Reading the wrong play on the wristband, and weird things happening. Right. It just kind of seem to happen sometimes. But third down, we have to execute. We got to get the change of the possession of the field where the ball is. I thought Hunter Cheatham did a great job of punting last week. He changed the field for us, and that's what we were missing before. I think he focused in and got that fixed, and we knew he could do it, but he changed the field, and those things matter, and that's why we were still in the game, because they didn't start on the 50. They started on their own 25, and those things matter. So I think just execution and doing what we do, but we're able to put in a couple more things every week, get more of the offense in and more of the offense in, but I think they're more comfortable in it, and I think Andrew's seeing it better because it's more of a zone blocking scheme on the offense, so you have to see the holes instead of the wing tee, the slot tee, where it's just kind of running that direction because it's going to open up and get there. Zone blocking's different, and so he's getting used to it. I think everybody's just getting more used to it and better at it, but it's the first week we'll have everybody healthy. This is the first week all year long that we have access to every kid that can play varsity football. So that's a plus, and I'm glad that's finally happening because every week it was something different. A kid had a concussion and ankles and knees and things like that, but now everybody's back, everybody's ready to go, so it'll be nice.
District play, everything counts now. Our practice is different.
Not at all. We change practice up just try to help the kids. If there's something in part of the game that we're missing, whether it be JV or varsity, I think that's something that good coaches do. They change practice up just to make your team better. So we change practice, but practices usually get a little shorter as the season goes on. Sometimes it's because it's getting real cold, or sometimes it's just because you don't want to wear the kids out because they're getting beat up. But other than that, our kids know what to expect when they come out there. They've done the same thing for 5 years, and they know the clock's going to be running, and we're going to go 5-minute segments. And what we do during those 5-minute segments might change a little bit, but they know what's going on, and there's no drastic change.
District play starts tonight at Pottsboro. We want everyone to show up for the game. It's going to be a big one tonight. If you can't make it to the game, we'd love for you to listen live at howeenterprise.com. And if you are inside the stadium, you can hear it on 104.1 FM. For everyone who's been a part of this one, I'm Monty Walker. We'll see you next week.